Hello, welcome back to another fantasy football video. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. It is a very quick turnaround in between Game Week 5 and Game Week 6. So today, I thought I'd make a quick little watch list video of those players I thought have particularly kind of stood out in this Game Week 5. We've had a few ups and had a few downs so far this game week. But if you are new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. Now, going on into the first section of players, we're taking a look at the midfielders, and the two main guys who I've sort of picked out for this week are Zaha and Sterling, with the other guys being more sort of enablers and maybe a little bit punty, but we'll come on to those. So Zaha and Sterling, I put Zaha first and Sterling second, but I think they're about the same sort of level at the minute. Sterling being the sort of shining light at the minute for Chelsea, who aren't particularly playing too well, and Zaha scoring an absolute picture of a goal, curling that ball into the top corner against Brentford last night. It was an absolutely beautiful goal to see. What I will say about Zaha is that he's not particularly good for bonus points. So, if he scores, then he's likely only going to get 7 or maybe 8 points, because he doesn't really do loads else in the game to sort of earn him those bonus points, whereas Sterling, on the other hand, has been picking up some bonus points as well. You can see there on that right-hand column the expected points going in to the next game week. Now, Zaha, in the next 3, he's got the likes of Newcastle away, then West Ham at home, then Brighton away, and then Sterling has got West Ham at home, then Fulham away, and then Liverpool at home. So arguably, between the two of them, there's not actually too much difference in the fixtures. Now, the reason that I have put Zaha top is because of value. Sterling coming in at 10 million, it's quite hard to get him into our teams, with most of us probably having gone for the likes of Salah and the likes of Haaland. It is very kind of hard to extract that money out to kind of get that 10 million, whereas I feel like Zaha will be much easier for a lot of people to get, which is why he's on top. Now, I've got Gordon in at third. That's more sort of on form than the fixtures they're going into. They're playing it to Liverpool next, where, they could actually go and score. Liverpool have not been too great so far defensively this season. There's no reason as to why Gordon can't score. And, at 5.5, 5.6 million, he looks like pretty good value. And talking of value, Andreas for Fulham looks extremely good value, coming in at 4.5 million. He's got 2 assists so far this season, but from 2 assists has managed to pick up 4 bonus points, which is absolutely absurd. So if you're looking for an enabler, I think that he is definitely the guy to go to. And then finally, I've got Foden in there. I mean, I could have picked basically any one of the Manchester City attacking assets. It was more that Foden came off kind of early in the Forest game, managed to pick himself up some attacking returns. So I feel like Foden most likely will start, or hopefully start, in the Aston Villa game. And so, yeah, I can see him doing particularly well in that. So moving on to the attackers now. I haven't put many attackers here, mainly because I feel like most people will have gone Haaland up front to start with. If you've not gone Haaland, please, transfer him in for your own sake, I guess, because he's absolutely smashing it so far this season. 9 goals in 5 games is just absolutely absurd. Then I feel like most people for that second striker spot probably will have gone for Gabriel Jesus. I mean, his ownership is like 84, 85%, absolutely absurd. So that only really leaves 1 striker spot available. So we're discussing here what, who can go in that third striker spot. So for me, I'll put Mitrovic number 1 just because of his form so far this season. He's been absolutely smashing it. Scored against Brighton and picking up all 3 bonus points, which is very important for a striker. You don't just want the strikers who, are going to score. You want the players who are going to pick up the bonus points as well, because it actually does make a massive difference come the end of the season. So Mitrovic is the number 1 there. Tony obviously has not been scoring recently, but still looks very good going forward. His XG is still pretty high as well, and Brentford do have pretty decent fixtures. So Tony is definitely one to be looking at as well. And I think that Isak potentially for me could actually be top of this list now, scoring a tidy little goal against Liverpool in his first start. Arguably has the best fixtures out of the 3 of them, with the likes of Crystal Palace at home, and then also They have Bournemouth at home in game week 8 as well, which is, just a very, very tidy fixture, really. I really am targeting to get Isak in for that game, with Callum Wilson likely to be sidelined for just an unknown period of time, and Chris Wood not really cutting the job. I think that Isak does look very, very good going forward. And, out of the three of them, I potentially would go for Isak this week, to be honest with you. But Mitrovic, just to pay a bit of respect to the guy because he has been playing so well this season, is the number one on the sort of watch list for me. Then finally moving into the defensive assets. Now I put Cancelo at the top just because I feel not as many people this season have actually hopped onto Cancelo. And after he scored that absolute peach of a goal against Nottingham Forest, I just could not put him in, to be honest with you. And then, he got subbed off at about the 65th to 70th minute in that game, which bodes quite well for him playing against Aston Villa, likely to probably get another 60 to 70 minutes in that game. Now, unfortunately for him, he won't be picking up any bonus points because the likes of Erling Haaland played so well, and John Stones also getting some bonus points as well in that game. But yeah, for him to, get a clean sheet and score a goal, you can't really be asking for too much more than that. So Cancelo is sort of, if you don't have him, definitely be looking to bring him in. Then in the second spot, we've got Estupinan, I think is how you pronounce it. And basically, you can consider this a Brighton asset. I mean, there was quite a big variance and swing in between those people who went for the likes of Lewis Dunk and those people who went for the likes of Estupinan, with Estupinan picking up an assist and getting some bonus points, and Lewis Dunk managing to score an own goal, which was pretty calamitous, to be honest with you, which is why Estupinan does get his spot in here, because, yeah, he managed to pick up the attack and return, and you can see going forward, potentially, that, Brighton are going to keep more clean sheets. They've been so good so far this season. So if he can mix that, get an attacking return with a clean sheet, then he will absolutely send you flying. So I really do like him as an option. I put Saliba in here as the third one to watch out for me, just because he was doing so well on the bonus points up until Aston Villa scored. Actually, up until he got a yellow card. But either way, Saliba does just look like a very good option. On another day, they get a clean sheet and he picks up all 3 bonus points. And I think going forward, Saliba is going to continue to keep clean sheets and get bonus points, and he's sort of the standout option, in my opinion, from that Arsenal defence. So definitely want to be looking at, if you don't kind of have an Arsenal defensive asset. Do play against Manchester United away in the next week, but it's not as tough of a fixture as it used to be. So I'd definitely potentially be looking at Saliba. Then we have Diogo Dalot coming at number 4, and they've not actually played so far this week. Play against Leicester tomorrow night, so we'll see how he does there. This is definitely one for the watch list for Game Week 5. But going forward, Manchester United, if they keep that structure of Martinez and Varane very much firmly in the centre. I've heard a bit of talk about Maguire coming back in, which defensively won't do them very good. But Dalot has shown so far this season that he's good for an attacking return. And if Manchester United can keep a clean sheet, they're one to look out for. And finally, we've got Trippier. Now, they've not managed to keep a clean sheet in the last 2 games, Newcastle, but they've still, they've looked pretty decent defensively, only actually scoring a goal in each of the games, or at least I haven't actually checked the score. I think it's like the last 5 minutes of the Liverpool game, so maybe Liverpool have gone and scored a second. But either way, Trippier has looked pretty good so far, and also looks very good for an attacking return as well. On free kicks, on quite a few set pieces. So going forward with the Newcastle fixtures that I've discussed with Isak, I definitely want Trippier for the Bournemouth game. Whether I'm going to bring him in for the Palace game is still yet to be seen. Definitely one that I am considering. But yeah, Trippier definitely on the radar for me. And so yeah, this has been a quick little watch list ahead of Game Week 6. Let me know down in the comments any other players that you are looking towards. I was potentially looking at Nico Williams this week, and I still am kind of looking at him, although they did just concede 6 against Manchester City, so it seems a little bit counterintuitive. But at the same time, he has looked all right for an attacking return. They do play against Bournemouth, arguably the worst attacking team so far this season, so definitely one I've potentially got my eye on. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and let me know down in the comments the players you are looking out for. See ya.